One of the greatest things about Greenwich Village is that it houses a church called the Judson Memorial near Washington Square. It has a poets theater, a dance theater, and a gallery. It has become one of the liveliest and most talked about theaters in New York City. Sitting with me is Reverend Al Carmines, Minister and Director of the Arts Program at the church. Welcome to the bitter end.
Thank
Reverend.
you.
Minister, Reverend Al.
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 Right.
By the way, if any of you have never been there, you should all make it a must-see place in New York, because when I first came down to the village, I used to go downstairs out to all those socials you had.
Right.
Meet girls, right?
Exactly.
Even though I was Jewish, which I think half the population was.
Right, half the congregation.
Right. And I also know many of the junkies at the time when the village was in a lot of trouble at that time. And it's not the same way today.
Right.
But when the village did have a lot of trouble, that your church really helped out tremendously. Who
Right.
was the originator?
Well, Reverend Howard Moody, who is the senior minister, and the congregation. We had, back in the days when nobody was doing anything about drug addiction, really, we had a loft that we rented that was just open 24 hours a day. There was somebody there to talk to people. There were musical instruments, coffee, magazines, a psychiatrist 3 afternoons a week, and a lot of people were helped.
Now you're doing a lot. I know that I've been referring runaway kids there lately,
right,
so you're doing something along those lines.
We just are turning our student house into a pad for runaways, so they'll have some place to be and think about what's happening to them for a while.
Well, I think it's really great because so many of the young people, when they do get to the village, and mainly the village is composed of people who are not from the village,
right.
The fact that they do have that church, and it's such a groovy church, I mean, it's hard to use that expression, but the fact is that it really is a place where you can come and be comforted in a very mature, intelligent, and not such a ritualistic place as most other churches would normally be.
That's true. Somebody once said about the church, well, we could have a lively church too if we were willing to have beer cans all over our sanctuary like Judson does.
Right.
But we don't actually have that, but it's a pretty dirty church in terms of, there's a lot of debris around all the time because we're always doing plays or dance concerts or something.
Well, it really is a great, I mean, I sound like I'm just so laudatory about it, but the fact is it really is an exciting thing, and I've been in the village many years, and it was the first stop on my way. I also know that you do a lot of great things in the theater and the arts. You write music. In fact, you had a Gertrude Stein play.
Right.
Am I correct? Right.
In Circles. We got the script by Gertrude Stein that just consisted of 11 pages of just lines, no characters, no stage directions, no anything. And we got 10 people together, some actors and some dancers and some singers and myself, and we worked for 2 weeks just picking out the lines we wanted to say and the lines I wanted to set to music, and the dancers picking out the lines they wanted to dance to. And we created a play just from these lines, and we did it at the church, and then a producer saw it and moved it to the Cherry Lane Theater down the village. So it's been running 6 months now.
And it's very, very popular.
Yeah.
And it's your music, right?
My music, right.
Right. Do you compose a lot now? I mean.
Yes, I compose a lot. I usually compose from about 2 in the morning to 5, and my piano doesn't disturb anyone because it's a fairly big apartment and in the student house where the kids are, so they're not bothered.
Do you do ministerial work also?
Yes, I preach and lead study groups and teach Sunday school sometimes, things like that.
And yet you have the freedom to do the other, or is that on your own time?
Well, that's kind of on my own time, except the theater is part of the program of the church, so that every day I have a rehearsal of some kind or other, usually.
Yeah, you know, there are a lot of very famous actors who went through and have worked at the church. I mean, I've spoken to quite a few of them who, I think Dustin Hoffman was in the village for a while, and he was at the church. And, oh, yeah, you like that, huh? You go, oh, you hear that kind of... Let me ask you this question. Are you going to show me, I'd like everybody to hear, some of the things you've written?
Yes, well, this is a song called The Wedding Song that a couple who was getting married said, would you write us a song, but we want a realistic wedding song, and one that doesn't say, you know, it's all going to be peachy keen from now on and love and roses. And so I wrote this song for them and sang it one Sunday, and now I just made a record of it. So
you mean there's something different than Oh Promise Me and all that, right?
Yes, it is, I think.
Okay.